Okay. So, Jerry, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to talk with me today. It's been a while since we worked together, and I just wanted to take some time to talk about your experience, tell us about how it was, how coaching was for you, why you even started in the first place, and how it's been. It's been many years now. So tell me, why did you hire me? What made you hire me in the first place? You know, I see this young, beautiful lady calling me. I meet her and I'm talking with her and I'm wondering, why did she talk to me? Now, I've known since then, but for the purpose of our viewers, tell me, why did you hire me?
Well, first of all, I got to know about you through a very popular local newspaper,
Yes.
and I used to read. I read to read your articles every week, and your perspective of your insights were quite intriguing, especially having graduated from university.
Yes.
So your insights were very challenging and blogging, because you talk about life holistically,
Yes.
and more towards career growth. And of course, as a fresh graduate,
Yes.
the perspective is just about how you can grow, how you can make money. Yeah, so that's how I got to know to know about you.
Yes.
And I was so curious to get to know you more, and of course to interact with you so that I could be able to set my life better as I started my life, basically. Yeah.
You were already working at that time, I think, weren't you?
Yeah, I was in employment for close to 1.5 years, 2 years thereabout.
Okay, so you were still a newbie on the market, on the job market.
Yeah, and the aspiration of you have gotten your certificate, your degree, your power to lead.
Yes.
You really want to grow,
Yes.
and of course the impatience.
Yes.
Of course, looking towards some of the people that we school together. So there was that eagerness and urgency to learn how I can grow my career. And of course, reading your paper, reading your articles,
Yes.
I knew there's something unique about you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So why did you feel you needed to grow? I mean, 1.5 years in employment. I mean, one would think that you were being a little impatient. If in 1.5 years you're already thinking, maybe there's something going on that I should do more of. Were there some signs that you needed to do a bit more to grow a lot faster than you were growing at the time, or did you just feel, okay, I need some perspective on my career?
In reference to my college life, I love entrepreneur. So having gotten a job, I knew for me to move to the next level,
Yes.
I need some guidance. And now reflecting back to your articles, looking the life holistically, because for you, you talk about life holistically, and you have control over it.
Yes.
As a young person, I needed guidance to figure out how do I, move to the next level.
Right.
Of course, following proper or rather guided
Yes.
approach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was keen.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was keen to work with you, especially noting that you're a lady doing so well. So I was also, inspiring to be like you.
Oh, but
Yeah.
but you know, I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be better than me.
Yeah, that time looking at the articles, of course, now after the session, the coaching session, we are very unique, and our imagination, they're very different. So we have different paths, depending on the passion and what you want with your life. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Tell me, so at the time, what would you say what your colleagues were doing? I mean, you went to college with certain people, they had probably grown or not in their careers. What were they doing? Was coaching the kind of endeavor they'd be spending time and money off? Because, well, it's not exactly cheap. What were your colleagues doing as opposed to you coming to see me to say, Seraphine, I need some help with my coaching, and I'm not even sure what that help is, but I need to move faster.
Well, in my line of duty, I'm in insurance industry, and of course, the perception out there is a perception about in regards to insurance, and I was very passionate about insurance, so I needed someone to help me understand myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that time, most of my friends they didn't even want to hear about me talking to them about insurance,
Yes.
because naturally people have a perception about insurance. But I knew is one of the areas that I wanted to specialize.
Right.
And looking at the industry, we had very few ladies at that time.
Yes.
So one, I wanted support and guidance just to know myself and really to maneuver in the market.
And find the
Then
quickest
of
way to the
course,
top.
yeah, yeah. Then of course, my I would say my circle of schoolmates or college mates, there are those who had we graduated and they got their job immediately,
Yes.
and I was feeling like I'm being left out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But within me, I knew what I wanted. I believe in hard work, but having worked with you, hard work is not enough
Mm-hmm.
for you to move to the next level. So really, I needed someone to work with me, someone who have experience.
Mm-hmm.
And from listening to reading your article, it
Yes.
was very clear that Seraphine is someone that I would like to interact with, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and learn and get to know more about even myself. Because really, it's not about the comparing yourself with the environment, with peers, you know, and maybe what the society expectation, but
Yes.
really to understand yourself. So for me, I needed that.
Right.
Yeah, at the
Is that
time.
what you got?
Yeah.
Is that what you got?
I got more than what I was expecting.
What do you
Yeah.
say you got? You know, Njeri, I have to tell you, you're one of those clients that I will forever remember. You know, you came to me and then we talked about the program. We talked about what you needed to do. We talked about what it would take you and how I work, the modus operandi. And then you made a payment and then your mom got unwell. And then, Jerry, you went away for 2 years. Do you remember? For 2 years.
I remember.
And every end of year, my accountant would be saying, Seraphine, we have this payment and you know, we haven't delivered the service and the payment is still here in our books. We need to send it back. And when the lady's ready, she can come back. You know, I called you twice. And each year you
Yeah.
said to me, no, keep the money, I will come back. I've never seen that. What was that? Because there's what I did with you to help you move forward, but you didn't come as a blank slate. You came as this very focused young lady. And I have to say, out of all my clients, and a lot of my clients have enough money to pay for my services, and some of them are sponsored by the organizations that they work for. So I guess they don't feel the pinch of investing for in their coaching programs with me. But you were one of those individual clients who took the time. You didn't have enough money. You went away. You didn't want the money back. You told me, Seraphine, keep the money. I will be back. I can't tell you just how focused that is, you know, and I'm sure even the success you've received today is because a lot of it is because of your focus, not necessarily what I shared with you. You, by the time you were coming to me, you were coming to me because you were already focused. People don't come to me as a blank slate. People don't come to me as a blank slate. By the time they
No.
come, they know there's something else they
Mhm.
want, and they need
Mhm.
just that extra push, that objective look. And when I looked at that dedication, I have to tell you, you're one of the clients that I've enjoyed working with the most. Looking at how eager you were literally hungry, you know, for growth. For a coach, that's 90% of the work done, really.
Mhm.
So, what was that?
Um, I would say it's focus. Because of course for me, I love good things, and even if I don't have money at that point,
Yes,
yeah, I'm patient enough to to wait and to look for money and
right.
to go for what I want.
To
Because
delay
2 years down the
gratification,
line,
not buy an alternative now because that's what you can afford, but you know very
yeah,
well this is what I want. And even if I
yes,
can't afford it now, that's what deserves to be called mine, as I keep saying. And in
yeah,
the meantime, I will not fill my vacuum with just anything, because the one that I want, the one that really deserves to
yeah,
be in my life, is not reachable for me right now, but the fact that it's not reachable for me right now doesn't mean that it's not going to be reachable to me tomorrow, and that's exactly what you exemplified at that point. If you remember one of the laws that I talk about, it's exactly that. So why would you say that this was an experience that helped you? Because at that time you worked for Barclays at the time? No, Chase Bank, I think.
Yeah, I was in Chase Bank by then.
Chase Bank. You've now moved on to Barclays, and which is now AXA, and now you manage your own territory within where do you work?
The company.
And now what's your region?
Because in Mount Kenya.
You're the whole of Mount Kenya, and right now you're in Nakuru. Yeah. I'm catching you on a business trip, actually.
Yes.
What would you say was one of the most fundamental things that you learned? Feel free to share 2 or 3 if you want. There are things that you came to learn that you already knew, so you needed some reinforcement, and there are things that you probably weren't even thinking about by the time we started working together. Share with us a little bit of that.
I would put them in terms of concepts.
Okay.
There are concepts that they exist,
yes,
but most of us, we are not aware. So some of the concepts that I learned, one was the self-affirmation, productive and non-productive words that determines your behavior. So when we started that conversation, and I realized, wow, so some of the words that and the phrases that I'm using, they are taking away energy from me in the morning, and that triggers the entire day how my day will run.
Yes.
And this it's also connected with the goals that I want to achieve.
Right.
If I attract and I tell myself this is so difficult, already that's a negative,
Yes.
And that's a negative non-productive words that really So that was, of course, now I learned about the self-affirmation every morning. There is those, it's actually part of my daily ritual. It's like a ritual. Every morning I have to affirm every morning. Yes. And that has seen even me today. That is one of my practice. Then the other concept I learned is about the universal laws. They were existing at the time, but I wasn't aware. Because the world or the environment will respond on how you present yourself to it. So the law of vibration and the law of attraction really applies every day.
Whether or not you're aware
of it. I wasn't. Yeah. By that time, I wasn't aware. And of course, now after having this interaction with you and self-realization, I was also able to direct or to direct my lifestyle, and also now have engage positivity, and you realize what you offer, that's what you get.
That's right.
So even in terms of my friends, there was a bit of change, and they couldn't understand what is happening to this girl. So that is also another concept.
Yeah.
But it's very real in our life. Then the other thing is the image, the whole concept of image. And it's quite interesting. Because before whatever, how you look outside begets what is happening in the inside. So working with an image consultant, number one, we had to change my whole outfit. And that was a whole game change, because I realized even my friends, they're asking, what is happening?
Right.
And of course now, actually, there's a group of ladies. I had to introduce them to the image consultant, but of course, it was more than that. It was not just about the image outlook.
Yes,
there was some areas around the business etiquette, communication.
Yes.
So it was a whole transformation, I would say. So that was the key trigger, and I realized, wow. So how you appear, people treat you. And of course, that's when I started even getting calls from my friends. Bill, I have a baby. Can you give me a quotation for education policy? So really, what you present, people even trust you more.
Yes.
And they are willing even to engage with you.
Yeah.
Of course, along the way, there are those who felt as if I am putting a block.
A barrier.
Because I also...
That's inevitable.
Yes, a barrier.
Yes. So you
because,
lost or some friendships
I lost,
waned because you had now changed your outlook, your change, your thinking in the process, and you are more focused on your goals. So obviously some friends felt that you are no longer that same person that they knew. Sorry, did you lose me there? So some friends felt you were probably not the same person that they knew, or you had put a barrier between you and them. How was that? That must have been difficult, I understand.
Well, some of them felt as if I don't know whether I'm supposed to use this. I am a bit proud.
That's right.
Because one, I was not available.
Why were you not available?
I was not available.
Why were you not available?
I had other better things to do. Yeah.
Your coach had you on a dashboard. Your coach had you doing a dashboard, so you were busy reorganizing all aspects of your life.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And of course, I learned about being selfish in a good way. We are all selfish. But in other words, you put it selfful. You have to be selfful first.
Thank you. My God, you remember a lot, Jerry. This is.
I do.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you lost some friends in the process.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you regret losing those friends?
No, I don't regret, because I think my level of ambitions, it's not at their level.
That's right.
You know, someone would think, are you crazy? You know, the things that you want to achieve. Me, I'm down there. You're thinking things that even your current level right now, you may not achieve those things.
Of course, yeah.
There was a bit of feeling of I'm putting them off, or I'm being proud.
Or you're disconnected somehow, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So that's another thing. Then the other thing that actually I've already adopted the habit is the reading culture.
Yes.
Yeah, and applying the law of vacuum.
Expanding your mind throughout. Otherwise, you keep the same knowledge, you do the same things, you don't get any new results, you know. So reading.
And actually I remember you saying that for you to interact with, you know, the great minds, legends, you have to read.
You do.
So reading is it's a way of enriching and just growing yourself and getting to know what other people, great minds, have done.
That's right.
So yeah, I remember some of the recommendation during the coaching. I got to learn about Bob Proctor, Napoleon Hill, you know, Lois Frankel. So since then, I've had that habit. Every year I must read, even if I'm not doing so many books, but at least it's one of the areas that has really helped me to learn. Besides my area of specialization, I'm able now to have a bigger perspective of life.
That's right.
Yeah. Then finally, it's about the dashboard. Now that was the most intriguing. Now that was the execution part.
I know it's a bit of work. I know, yes, the execution. You see, because most people, when they come for motivation, and then they realize, oops, this is not about motivation. In fact, I tell you, I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not. You know, when you come to me, you're going to be able to roll up your sleeves and do the work. You know, so and the work, we don't just do the work; we measure the work, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in regards to dashboard, initially when I was coming to you, remember my perspective was more of career growth.
That's right.
But I realized, of course, you cannot achieve, you know, your goals if your health is deteriorating.
That's right.
Yeah. Of course, if your image, you're not looking the part. Of course, if your finances, you're not planning your finances, then of course the time management. But of course, you say that you don't teach time management.
We don't manage time. We don't manage time. Remember, we don't manage time. What do we do instead?
We track each and every minute, and a minute is $1. I still remember that. A minute is $1. So all those spheres of life, they have to be balanced.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when now I met a health nutrition, and we could monitor my ideal weight. You know, by then I was expecting my firstborn. So
yes,
you also came in handy to demystify that pregnancy, you need to look like a village girl, It's not a boring.
What
It's
does a
not a,
village girl look like? I am a village girl,
it
remember?
shouldn't be. No. You see, there's that perception that when you're pregnant, you're helpless. No, your life is not normal. But that is mindset. As long as there's no health issues, life should not stop.
Life should not stop.
Yeah, so
Not stop.
dashboard was a game changer because, every week we had specific action points.
Yes.
And there was no excuse that I'm pregnant. I had to do those things. And actually, it was quite exciting because every day it was a learning experience.
Right.
So my of course, my journey was easy. When it comes to the issue of parenting, of course, we also engaged an expert, Dr. Mukoro, at that time.
Yep.
So
Stanley.
when all these,
Yes.
yes,
Mhm.
when all these things are aligned, life become easy,
Yes.
but to manage the life challenges because nothing is surprise. Nothing is happening as a surprise
Yes.
because I'm already aware if this doesn't happen, this is the consequences. So that is the law of polarity. Remember?
You see, when you
Yeah.
when you plan your life such that you're walking into it knowing exactly what you're going to expect there. I mean, there are situations that you cannot control, obviously, but when you plan it such that you know very well this is what I'm supposed to do at this point in time, and I'm doing this so that I can achieve this in the long run, then you don't just happen upon your life, you go into it knowing exactly what you're supposed to do at any given time. That means you have no time to waste. You don't waste any time. And that's one of those commodities that we have in very short supply. If you waste
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
time, you find that the ripple effect is very, very expensive,
Mm.
not just on what you were supposed to be doing, but on other aspects of your life as well. And what we miss with coaching, and that's why I have a challenge with organizational coaching. What they normally do is work on your business life, your corporate life. But we don't go to work as the resumes that we present. We are whole people. If I'm talking to Bill, I'm talking to Bill Angelina, I'm talking to Bill had the mother, Bill had the daughter, Bill had the wife, I'm talking to Bill had the community leader, I'm talking to Bill had the church go, I'm talking to so many different aspects of Bilha that make the whole person that I'm speaking with right now. And what we do in most organizations is, in fact, pretend that the rest of that doesn't exist. But this person that comes to work is a sum total of every other aspect of her life that's behind her. And then she brings all that together, all that is rolled into her. So my approach, and I'm sure most people find this surprising, is that we're going to work on everything. And, I know it's very intrusive. And Seraphine's asking about, okay, so how is the home life? Okay, what about your spouse? What about your spouse? What does he do? What's the relationship about? And I know it's very intrusive, but that's the process that's why it's not for everybody. How did you deal with that?
Yeah.
Find it intrusive? How did you deal with that?
Wow. Your style, you're very honest and blunt. You're very
I've been
open.
told. Yes, I've been told.
So yeah, you're honest. So for you, for someone to be helped, I had to get to a level of vulnerability. I had to be open
Yes.
and to have an honest discussion of where I am
Right.
and where I'm headed to and what I need to do.
Right.
So I think at the beginning it was a bit difficult.
Yes.
But I realized this is the way for me to move to the next level. I must I must take the criticism in a very positive way.
Yeah. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. What do you think it is about you that helped you take the criticism that comes with coaching? I mean, it's constructive, but it is criticism all the same. I mean, even if I clothed it in a very beautiful silk wrap and presented it to you, it's still criticism at the end of the day. What do you think it is about you that helped you? Because that's a fundamental part of the coaching process. You must be ready to receive that feedback, and by the time you're coming for it, that's exactly what's going to help you grow. And difficult as it is to receive sometimes, and especially when you say that Seraphine is blunt about it, it can be difficult to receive. So what is it about you that helped you manage that? Because that's a big part of the coaching process that a lot of people find untenable, actually.
I think for me, the first instance was when you asked me to write a vision. Yeah, just to visualize on what I want and think about it even without thinking how I'm going to get there.
That's right.
So that level, whatever the image that I had in my life, in
Yes.
all aspects, it really made me vulnerable.
That's right.
I mean, for me to be able to achieve that, I had to take a back seat and to listen and to just to be open and share my weaknesses, my fears,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
for me, of course, like I said initially, I love good things. So I
Yes,
can
you
go
did.
to any to any level to get good, what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you kept on saying that the world rewards effort. So when you have that goal that you want to achieve, and you're willing to start from wherever you are, yeah,
Yes.
from your level that you are in,
Yes.
and allow an experienced person to come in and help.
Yes.
I think that is one of the things that made it easy for me to just be open and to be very open minded,
Yes.
yeah, and to take every criticism in a very positive way, because I knew at the end of the day, for me to be the best, I had to go a process. It's a process, yeah.
How have you benefited, Jerry?
Um,
I know that's a
well,
broad question.
it's quite broad, but I think I can start from my relationship with my relationship. From that point, I manage relationship, and I know I'm able to know the extent,
Mhm.
because I have different levels of relationship. I have family, I have friends, I
Yes.
have colleagues.
Right.
I've managed to appreciate other people's perspective
Yes.
and to respect their opinion,
Right.
such that there's no conflict.
Mhm.
Initially, sometimes I would feel like I'm hated. These people, they don't like me or something like that. So
Yes.
for me, managing relationship, it has been one of the things. Even with my kids,
Yes.
I believe I connect myself. My relationship with my kids, especially, I'm happy with it.
Right.
So relationship is one of the areas of life that I'm quite happy about it. And of course, in my corporate circle,
Yes.
I have a team that I lead, and from that coaching session, I was able to help people to be and have proper management skills and leadership skills.
Mhm.
Because for you to be a leader, you must be able to understand your people very well, their strengths, their weaknesses,
Mhm.
and harness all that towards achieving a certain goal. So I remember, I think the first year after the coaching, I had two team members
Yes.
coming. I mean, the best, the top two team members coming from my
Unit.
my division,
Yes. Yes.
my unit.
Yes.
Yeah, so that
I
was
remember. I remember you
you know
called me about that. Yes, you did call me about that. Yeah.
yeah, so that is one of, and it has been quite easy, and you're able to appreciate other people. Some people, they may not be some of the team members, they may not achieve maybe to the level that you want, but you're able to work with them
Yeah.
without judgment, without having a prejudice,
Yes.
because by applying the role of appreciation, all these things comes in handy to make sure that they also grow and they also learn from me. For you to be a leader, you must be leading yourself first.
That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's right. And so
yeah.
right now you run your own team. At the time you were part of a team, and right now you run your own team. And would you say that paying it forward, because not everybody's going to come to a coach, not just Seraphine, but to any coach. Not everybody's going to do that because sometimes they don't want to, sometimes they don't even think they need it, sometimes they don't have the resources. So would you say that paying it forward is part of you being able to continue to live the way you have promised yourself to live? Because when you tell people the certain things that they need to do to improve themselves, then it's upon you as well to show by your own example that's exactly how things should be.
I would confidently say yes. Coaching, in fact, I think I should have gotten this coaching before, long time ago, because the level of self awareness is to another level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that makes life easier. Of course, challenges are there,
Yes.
but being aware of every cause, every event has a consequences. So when you're aware, you never have emotional breakdown because you already know that.
Yeah.
So for me, coaching, I can recommend to everybody. And I think reading the book by Graham, The Love Languages,
Yes, yes. I made
it
it.
also helped me to,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it has helped me to understand, to understand other people better.
Right.
Even when I'm gifting someone, I'm doing it out of, I understand what resonates with them, and
Yeah.
people appreciate.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
From their perspective, not just gifting them what you think
yeah,
they should get, yes, but something they would appreciate.
absolutely,
Yeah.
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 So coaching, I would recommend coaching for even teenagers. I mean, from that level, from 18 years,
Yeah.
I believe we need someone to help us to create self-awareness, because it's all about self-awareness. When you're aware that you have these, faculties, you can imagine, you can perceive, you can reason, having that awareness helps you to, yeah, to lead an easier life. I would say an easier life, but not life without challenges, but you're able to respond
Yeah.
emotionally, and you're able to achieve your goal faster, having worked with a coach. Yeah.
It's a toolkit. It's a toolkit because at the time when we work together, obviously there are certain challenges that you're facing at that moment in time. But the point is not to help you just solve those ones. The point is to equip you with a toolkit because there are others coming in the future. As you grow, there are other challenges coming in the future. And the point you actually want the challenges, because that's what helps you grow, and you want to be equipped when they come. So that's what the point is. And I'm glad that you're still using those strategies that we started with from that time. Jerry, I have seen that you have grown in your career. Your family has grown as well since that time, and I couldn't be more proud. I really thank you for the opportunity to work with me at the time. Most customers don't realize that when they work with me, I don't just coach them. I also learn a lot in the process. With each client, there's new learning for me. There's new awareness for me. There's new aspects of my coaching work that I tweak every time. With every client, there's a new aspect that I tweak. And because of all of you, I'm a better coach today than I was at that time, So I thank you for the opportunity, and thank you so much for taking time to be with me here today. And I'll speak with you again soon. Thank you so much, Jerry. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank
Bye for
you.
now.